Alright, so welcome to my little Prusa i3 knockoff. Been having a bit of issues with the drive assembly on this thing, so we're going to kind of recondition some stuff, change out the nozzle. So, kind of to back up the history, I had a clogged nozzle due to some damage when I first set the printer up. It scarred the bottom of the tip down here on the hot end, and as a result it made a whole lot of pressure on the drive gear. So what I did, not realizing I had a clogged nozzle, because again this is a kind of a new thing to me, these 3D printers. Never owned one before, never worked with one before. Go straight for one that you have to put together and maintain yourself. Not a good plan. So anyway, we got, this is one of the things that I am going to change. I got the parts on order, is this whole assembly here. I actually got a single piece unit, so you'll bolt the stepper to the top of it, and it'll allow you to open up the fan part and actually expose everything without getting into the, without unloading the spring or having to push down on it. Oh, son of a gun. That wasn't supposed to go at all. No, not at all. Okay. Well, anyway, so this pulled off. What I ended up doing was, to get a little bit better bite on the plastic, I added this little groove into the pulley, which I've seen some that were actually machined that way. Unfortunately, this brass is a little on the soft side, and I believe it started flaking off brass. So now I got a brand new nozzle as of this morning. It printed great for all of about a minute, and then it ate itself. So, where I can get to it here. So what we're going to do is remove the entire hot end assembly, and we'll go through and clean it. I'm probably just going to replace it, verify the next one's good, but we're going to take this gear off as well and make sure that there is no issues with it, for polish it up real good so there's no metal shards to come off again and continue to have the same problem. This is really old. I did order a steel gear for this, hoping that would alleviate some of the issues. Sure doesn't look like very much is flaked away. Anyway, I digress. I'm just going to clean it all up and hopefully not have any more issues. Alright, so that's out. Man, that's in there good. Yeah, we'll tear this apart on the bench, and I do still have the other nozzle one that had given me so much grief before. I still have it floating around here somewhere if I haven't tossed it. But anyway. Alright, and just getting this apart now I can actually get a good bite on it. Alright, very important whenever you're doing any kind of wire wheel work is to wear your safety glasses. So you don't, these little wheel hairs will fly off on you. Alright, so I got all the little burrs removed from this thing. There's not even a trace of metal now, so that should be good. Now we just got to find the set screw that decided to rattle out, because I'd rather have both of them in there instead of just one. Hopefully it didn't go very far. Alright, so we're back. Just dug out a brand new nozzle. We're going to take a little moment though and just verify that it is clear. Got one of these little cleany drill bit things. A little hokey, but okay. I can load it into the hot end again. And there was most definitely a piece of brass in the end of my other, when I pulled the extrusion out. There was a little piece of brass in the end of it. So, definitely a problem. Set that aside for right now. Alright. There's no trace of anything on this before I put it back together. Alright. Just gotta do the flat side first. Alright, that's ready to go back together. Nice and clean. Alright, suppose I should thread this hot end into the frame. Load the tension spring. And again, this is why I want to change that plate, because I'd have the whole thing locked down real nice and neatly. Alright. Bring the fan motor around. Alright, we're gonna adjust this bottom stop real quick so that I don't have any issues when I power this thing on. Alright. Now we'll open up our menu, position, auto home. Yeah, we can come down a bit. Getting closer. Alright, we're right there now. So disable our stepper motors, which allow me to move everything. They were a few thousandths off from where I want to be. So, start working it until we're happy. We got a little drag on that one now. A little less. Yeah, that one's good. That one's got too much drag. Close on that one. We're hitting that one. Okay, that's good. That one's good. That one needs just a hair more drag. There we go. Feeler gauges to the rescue. Okay, now get some of this plastic fed in. Now everything's nice and clean. And you know what? I'm going to take a suggestion from another YouTuber and add a little block of foam right there to make sure I don't have any dust or debris falling down into the space. So hold on, let me go find a piece of foam. Alright, so I got a little piece of foam here. We're just going to make it into a sort of roundish little shape. Alright, so now cut a little passageway hole right through the middle of it. Nothing real tight, so the foam will drift nicely. There's no drag on that. Come on, there you go. There it goes. Alright, we're down in the well now. Alright. See, I think I got, let's see if one of the prints that didn't work before will work now. Let's see. Try Hypnotoad 3. That one seemed to be a good file. Hypnotoad number 3. That's what comes out of it. If it's good, that is. But right now we're just preheating, and I'll bring you back up to date once I get it actually doing something. Alright. So now what we're going to do, mostly because I don't want to use the vise like a heat sink, clamp it up and away, and warm it up. It should allow me to clear all this gook out of the thing. Oh. It looks like this one in particular, the clog happened far enough in. It's not actually clogged anymore. It pulled out with the filament. It's totally clear. So that one's good. Do the same thing for this other one. So I'll have to loosen up the pliers for the vice grips. And this one is just all kinds of packed full. So we'll have to, it'll take a minute to get this one clean. A little bit of grip on it. Oh. Okay, I wanted to just take a moment to kind of wrap this one up. I got one of my little test prints running. It's one of these little buggers I'm going to be bringing with me to a convention soon, so my buddy can give them away. But anyway, so my nozzles, these are some of the new ones, if I can get them to focus for more than a minute. They got kind of a sharp point to the end of them. One of the brand new nozzles I put on when I used my my feeler gauges over here to set the nozzle height, it ended up rolling the very tip of this nozzle over. It wasn't this one. That one I got pissed at it, so I modified it. But I'm currently running my original tip, which has a much shallower angle to it, and but because I was having problems with it, I actually had chamfered the inside edge of the nozzle a little bit, and just made it so, like when it's transitioning over the top of things, it would just bump over them instead of hooking and damaging the tip. So the one that was giving me all the fight earlier, I took and actually bored it out to be a high build nozzle. It's a 1 millimeter now, which was my smallest drill bit. But I took the lessons from that nozzle and this, and I shortened it up a little bit, and then and beveled it so it can travel over. But then I also chamfered the inside edge, so that way it basically has like a hard collar around protecting the orifice, so you don't end up having a bunch of stuff. And also these nozzles I got, they're a little bit tight on the inside, which kind of makes them hard for feeding. So that one is that's currently running has a little more open to the inner chamber. So when I modified that nozzle, I went and bored it over, and I might end up boring all these over too, and then doing the same chamfer trick to the end of them. But hopefully this one will just work fine for a while, and I won't have to change anything. So that's about it for this little project, and hopefully I'll get some pictures of this thing all done once it comes off the press here.